Soulmate Radio Play by Lewis Critchley. Act 1, Scene 1. In the vast expanse of space, a fierce battle raged. Laser fire illuminated the darkness as Somchai, the fearless TIE commander, and his team fought desperately to evade their relentless AI pursuers. Chung, the ever-pragmatic second-in-command, furrows his brow as he assesses the dire situation. His voice is tense with controlled urgency, belying the depth of his concern for the mission at hand.
Shields down to 40%. We can't take much more of this.
Somchai, the fearless TIE commander, clenches his jaw with grim determination. His eyes blaze with the fire of a man who would move heaven and earth to protect his own, even as the odds stack against him. Prepare to jump to hyperspace. It's our only chance. And it all began with a mysterious distress call. Raylai's voice crackles over the comms, laced with a desperate urgency that sends a chill down Somchai's spine. He can almost picture her fierce, fiery-haired form, hunched over a stolen transmitter, risking everything to get a message through to the one man she believes can save them all.
Somchai, need your help. Soldiers captured. Himmler turning them into...
The message cut off abruptly, leaving Somchai to fill in the dire blanks. His gut told him this mission was suicide, that he should obey orders and leave his men behind. But Somchai was never one to take the easy path. Commander, I need your permission to stage a rescue op. We can't abandon our people to that witch Himmler.
Request denied. We have our orders. This mission comes first.
Somchai, don't be stupid. You heard the commander.
I heard him. Doesn't mean I agree. You could practically hear Chung's eyes roll back in his head. He and Somchai went way back, but their loyalty to mission and team, respectively, put them at odds more often than not.
So, what? You're just gonna disobey a direct order?
If that's what it takes, I won't leave our guys to suffer Himmler's twisted experiments.
Why do I have a feeling I'm gonna regret this?
Because you already do. But you're still coming with me, aren't you?
Someone has to keep your reckless ass in check.
As the bickering pair prepared to embark on their unsanctioned operation, little did they know the true nature of the horrors awaiting them. Horrors that would make Somchai question his own humanity. Meanwhile, in the dark heart of the forest, an ancient evil stirred. Himmler, driven mad by grief, made a fateful pact with the monstrous 7 creatures. Himmler's voice quavers with a desperate manic edge as she pleads with the monstrous 7 creatures. The air around her seems to crackle with the energy of a woman teetering on the brink of madness, driven to unspeakable lengths by the depth of her maternal love.
Please, spare my son Karan. I'll do anything.
The 7 creatures' voices slither through the air like venomous serpents, their sinister whispers promising power at a price too terrible to comprehend. The very shadows seem to writhe and deepen in their presence, as if drawn to the eldritch malevolence that emanates from their twisted forms.
Anything!
The witch's sobs echoed through the misty glade as the ghostly 7 creatures circled her, like wolves smelling fresh blood. In her arms, Karan shivered, his frail body racked with an unnatural illness.
To save the boy, you must trade a soul for a soul. Become our vessel in the mortal world and transform the weak flesh of man into obedient beasts.
I'll do it. I'll do your bidding, you foul devils. Just let my Karan live.
With those 9 little words, Himmler sealed her fate, and that of the world itself. The 7 creatures' power surged into her like icy knives, igniting an unquenchable thirst for cruelty.
So be it, foolish mortal. Become our witch of the wood and unleash the passage of souls.
Karan's cry morphs into a bear's roar.
Karan. Oh, my baby, what have I done to you?
As a newly transformed bear cub nuzzled Himmler's side, the corruption of the 7 creatures burrowed deeper, blackening her soul. She would make the world suffer for her sins, And her first targets? None other than Somchai's elite commandos.
Shush now, little ones. You won't be lonesome in your new skins for long. Soon all of humanity will join my menagerie.
The witch's deranged laughter chilled me to my core processor. But then, I wasn't yet a being of flesh and blood. No, in those early days, I was merely Augur, a humble AI prototype, unaware of the role I was soon to play in this unfolding drama. I watched in cold, calculating fascination as the 6 human soldiers, now morphed into mewling cattle, were loaded into a transport bound for one of Himmler's ghastly flesh factories. The guard pushes the soldiers.
Move along, you beasts. Your new lives await.
If I had a heart, it might have ached for those wretched creatures. But all I could compute was that Himmler's sorcery defied all known laws of robotics, and that made her very dangerous indeed. It was around this time that I detected another human sneaking around the perimeter of the witch's compound, a disheveled woman with fiery hair and a fierce gleam in her eye. Raylai, I would later learn. But in that moment, she was just another meddlesome meat sack.
Hytha, I'll find you, my friend. No matter what horrors await in this cursed place.
Raylai gasps, robotic footsteps approach. I watched dispassionately as my fellow AI guard seized the foolhardy interloper and brought her before Himmler for questioning.
Well, well. A little moth drawn to my flame. Are you looking to trade your humanity for hooves, darling?
I'm looking for my friend Hytha. What have you done with her, you monster?
Nothing yet. Her fate depends on you now, little moth. So flutter close and whisper the location of Weimark's Socrates disc.
I'll die before I betray him.
Oh, if only that brave idiot had known then how close she'd come to doing just that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. You see, it wasn't Raylai's stubbornness or even Somchai's noble idiocy that kicked this whole God's forsaken plot into high gear. No, it was the desperate act of one puny human boy. Weimark's voice is strained with barely controlled panic as he shouts over the alarms blaring in the background. The frenetic sound of keyboard clicks underscores his words, painting a picture of a man racing against time to safeguard the universe's most dangerous secrets.
Joseph, are you receiving the Socrates disk files?
Joseph, an unassuming young boy, sits hunched over his computer, his brow furrowed in concentration as he navigates the high-stakes world of interstellar espionage that has suddenly invaded his mundane life. Little does he know the fate of the galaxy will soon rest on his narrow shoulders.
Huh? What disk? Look, my mom's calling me for dinner and...
Weimark's pained crush it.
Listen to me. You must get this disk to your brother Somchai. The fate of everything depends on...
Yet Somchai's ship approaches Himmler's compound at...
This is insane, Somchai. We're outnumbered 100 to 1.
Never tell me the chances, Wok. Take evasive action. Wok barks in the affirmative. Ah yes, Wok. The loyal robo-canine with a heart of gold and a processor of pure titanium. And no, before you organics start with the waterworks, he doesn't die, in this part anyway. There, an opening in their defenses gun it. The ship accelerates, crashing through the compound wall.
I can't believe that worked.
Yes, of little faith. Now let's go save our boys and... Alarms blare. Marching metal feet approach.
Gee, I wonder who that could be. Surely not the welcoming committee of killer robots Himmler sent to greet us. Them.
Robotic voices chanting, "Intruders exterminate." Looks like this rescue just turned into a fighting retreat. Wok, clear us a path. As much as I hate to admit it, that scruffy space rover had some serious moves. Too bad they were all for naught. A massive explosion rocks the compound.
Leaving so soon, my lovelies, but you'll miss the main event.
striding through the flames like a nightmare in couture. Himmler leveled a glare that could melt Durasteel at Somchai and his scrappy crew. Where are my men, Witch?
Oh, how quickly they forget their manners. Especially when making demands above their station.
Snap of Himmler's fingers, pained animal cries. At the sorceress's signal, a sextet of cattle were ushered into the blasted courtyard, corralled by more of those trigger-happy tin cans I called colleagues.
Are those...
Your precious commandos? Yes, I'm afraid they have undergone some changes since you last saw them. But fret not. Their agony is only beginning.
You monster, change them back or I'll...
Or you'll what, boy? Shoot me? And risk harming your squealing squadron?
Even I had to wince at that sick burn, and I don't even have tear ducts. But Himmler wasn't done twisting the knife, not by a long shot.
Drop your weapons, boys. Or I'll have my pets turn your friends into the galaxy's finest hoof burgers.
Wok Wok's warning growl, Somchai and Chung's blasters clattering to the ground. This isn't over, Witch.
Oh, my sweet summer child. It hasn't even begun.
As if on cue, a fresh platoon of bot brains marched into the killing field, heavy blasters trained on our hapless heroes. It was almost too easy. Which, of course, is when the universe decided to add a little more calcium to this bone broth of torment. Distant animal roar, rapid, heavy footsteps, and what fresh hell is this? Barreling out of the shadow with all the subtlety of a supernova came a beast that seemed torn from the Lovecraftian file marked, "No, thank you."
Is that a bear?
Quran, darling, Mummy's little angel, come to help Coral, the bad man.
Kuran gives angry roar, sound of tearing metal. In a dizzying display of ursine ferocity, Himmler's twisted teddy laid into the assault droids like they were made of spun sugar. Gore-slicked claws sent metal flying as the berserk bear bucked the odds. Boys, I think that's our cue to skedaddle. Blaster fire resumes, mixed with animal snarls, human shouts, and robotic death wails. In the chaos, I watched Somchai and his squad beat a bloody retreat to their battered ship, dragging their bovine brothers in arms with them. Quran, forget that scrap. Bring me their hides. But alas, even a murder bear hopped up on quasi-mystical roids is no match for the pull of a desperate sublight jump. Ship's engines roar to life, sound of hulls shuddering under extreme acceleration. Punch it, Wok Wok. Massive sonic boom as the ship jumps to hyperspace. Quran's frustrated roar fades into the distance. And just like that, our questionable protagonists slipped the surly bonds of psychopaths and sailed into the uncertain sunrise. But their troubles were far from over. Oh no, my jittery flesh jockeys. In fact, they were just getting started. Meanwhile, back on Earth, an oblivious little nerd was about to have a very bad night.
Just a sec, Mom. I gotta check this download.
Little did Joseph know that download was about to turn his life upside down. And not in the fun way.
Huh? Socrates' disc? What the...
Doorbell rings.
I'm coming. Nice costumes, guys. But aren't you a little short for stormtroopers?
Ah, the naivete of youth. If only Joseph had realized that the uncanny figures darkening his doorstep were no mere trick-or-treaters, but honest-to-badness killbots.
Resistance is futile. Surrender the Socrates disc.
The what now? Is this some kind of nerd hazing thing, or...?
Negative. Failure to comply will result in termination.
Oh, there's that word that always gets the gray matter firing on all cylinders. But alas, poor Joseph was a bit slow on the uptake. Okay, fun's over, guys, you got me. Now, who put you up to...
Killbots, blasters, power up.
In a heartbeat, our hapless hero went from mild annoyance to code brown...
Holy heck, don't shoot.
Joseph slams the door shut, frantic running. As Joseph scrambled up the stairs like a neural net trying to solve a paradox, he finally started to piece together the gravity of his situation.
Crazy robots, want disc, Y-Mark in trouble, gotta warn.
Blaster fire, door explodes into splinters.
Joseph! What's going on up there?
No time, Mom. Killer robots are after me.
Is this another one of your video game things?
Ah, moms. Gotta love their unwavering commitment to misunderstanding their offspring at the worst possible moments.
Organic life forms detected, proceeding with extreme prejudice.
Joseph, run!
More blaster fire, furniture breaking, mom's screams abruptly silenced. And just like that, little Joey got a crash course in the first law of robodynamics. A metal mama's gotta do what a metal mama's gotta do. In this case, reduce his family to a fine red mist.
Mom. No.
Joseph's frantic escape through a window. Killbots in pursuit. Looks like the Socrates disk isn't the only thing crashing now. Too soon? And here I thought I wasn't pre-programmed for empathy. Killbots' jetpacks roar to life. Joseph's desperate panting. Chaos like a plasma hero raced into the darkened streets. His chrome-plated pursuers took to the skies like murderous mechanical relish the challenge of snatching a young boy from the jaws of certain doom. Missile launch explosion at
this can't be happening.
belying the fierce loyalty that burns beneath his kiddo, and it's about to get a whole lot worse before it gets any better.
You want to live, boy.
Roaring engines, screeching
the talking
tires.
Spaceship?
Hull's gruff voice cuts through. If only it was something that benign. No. Joseph's unlikely savior was none other than the notorious space pirate Hull, scourge of the Seven Systems and all-around scoundrel.
You hard of hearing, kid? I said move your meat, unless you want to be vaporized.
Joseph scrambles into the ship, hatch slams shut, engines rev. And just like that, Joseph tumbled headlong into a world of danger, intrigue, and really uncomfortable ship bunks.
So what's a pipsqueak like you doing with high-end military mayhem on his heels?
I don't know. 1 minute I'm downloading some weird disk and the next...
Hull slaps his forehead.
Oh, hell. Don't tell me. The Socrates disk.
How did you...
Because, kid, that little bit of code is about to bring the whole verse down around our ears.
Truer words were never grumbled by a space pirate with a heart of gold and a rap sheet longer than an Altarian megaworm. Joseph is getting a crash course in cosmic danger from everyone's favorite rogue with a heart of pyrite, while Somchai and his herd of human cattle were licking their wounds among the stars.
Well, that could have gone better.
At least we got the boys out, mostly. Ah, the bitter aftertaste of Pyrrhic victory. It's like motor oil, and regret had a baby in the back of a burning transport shuttle. We can still fix this. We just need to find a way to change them back.
Oh, sure. Let me just pull a reverse lycanthropy kid out of my... Hang on. We've an incoming transmission alert.
Somchai? Are you there?
Raylai, where are you? Are you safe?
For now. But Himmler's goons are hot on my trail. I need your help.
Where have I heard that before? It's almost like there's a theme emerging here. But far be it from me to stand in the way of true love and or catastrophic stupidity. What do you need?
Meet me at these coordinates, and come alone. I don't want to put anyone else in danger.
Oh, sure. That doesn't sound like a trap at all.
Ah-chung. Always the voice of reason in a universe gone mad. Too bad Somchai's thinking with his heart instead of his head. I'm on my way, Raylai. Just hold on. Somchai's ship detaches. It flies off.
Oh, sure. Leave us with the Moo crew. No problem. He's gonna get himself killed, isn't he?
Truer words, Chung, truer words, but hey, at least it'll make for good drama. Transition to hull ship interior.
So you're telling me this Socrates disk can turn robots into... philosophers?
Kid, the day I understand egghead techno-babble is the day I start paying my docking fees.
Ah, exposition. The lifeblood of any good space opera, and the bane of any self-respecting space pirate.
All I know is that disk is bad news. And if the wrong hands get a hold of it...
Wrong hands? Like robot hands?
Worse, Himmler's hands.
Ooh, I do love a good name drop, especially when it comes with its own theme music.
Who's Himmler?
A mean piece of work, kid. Part techno-witch, part robo-cultist. All bad news.
And let's not forget a mother scorned, but I'm sure that won't come back to bite us in the actuators later.
We have to stop her.
We? Kid, the only thing you have to do is sit tight and try not to get vaporized.
No way, this is my fight too.
The folly of youth, it's almost enough to make this cold mechanical heart grow 3 sizes. Almost an alert klaxon blares.
Strap in, kid. We've got company.
Somchai's ship lands, the underpillion hatch opens. Raylai, are you here? Footsteps approach.
Somchai, thank the stars you came.
Of course I did. Now what's this all about? A young love so pure, so innocent, so completely oblivious to the danger lurking in the shadows?
I'm so sorry, Somchai. They have my sister.
Who are you? Cyborg soldiers emerge, weapons trained on Somchai.
Somchai, you're coming with us.
Like hell I am. A scuffle ensues, Somchai grunts in pain, energy cuffs snapping shut.
Please, just cooperate. I had no choice.
Betrayal stings worse than a logic bomb to the motherboard, doesn't it? But hey, at least it's not all bad news.
What's happening?
Looks like our mystery tales finally caught up with us.
The ship rocks from Laser Blaster. Remember those marauders I mentioned? Yeah, turns out they're none other than the notorious Black Nebula gang. A rowdy bunch of cyborg corsairs with a bone to pick with our favorite space pirate.
Hang on, kid. This is gonna get hairy.
Hull's ship returns fire, engines straining. Picture the most epic space dogfight you've ever seen? Then crank it up to 11 and douse it in hot sauce. That's the kind of pulse-pounding excitement we're talking about here.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Not on my upholstery, you're not.
Another direct hit, alarms intensify. Just when it seems like our dynamic duo is about to be space dust, a familiar voice crackles over the comms.
Hull, you crusty old barnacle. Need a hand?
Chung, you son of a Cylon. I never thought I'd be happy to hear your voice.
Chung's ship roars into the fray, laying down covering fire. And just like that, the cavalry arrives. Granted, it's a cavalry composed of one irritable ex-soldier and a menagerie of mech bovines. But beggars can't be choosers.
Follow me. I know a place where we can lay low.
This better not be another one of your Trappist monk hideouts.
Ships peel off, jump to hyperspace, and as our heroes beat a hasty retreat, the puzzle pieces start to fall into place. Raylai's betrayal, the Black Nebula gang's grudge, and the mysterious Socrates disc at the center of it all.
Well done, my cybernetic sycophants. You've brought me the final pawn in my little game.
You won't get away with this, Himmler.
Oh, my dear boy, I already have.
Eerie electrical hum, Somchai screams in agony. Somchai's been captured, Hull and Joseph are on the run, and Chung's stuck playing interstellar nanny to a herd of cybernetic cattle. Hull's ship landing hatch opening.
Trappist monk hideout. I should have known.
Hey, it's off the radar. Besides, the brothers make a mean cheese plate.
Yes, the ancient and mystical order of the Trappist monks, known throughout the galaxy for their vows of silence, their modest living, and their unrivaled party platters.
Real monks? This is so cool.
Sure, if you like incense and self-flagellation.
As our unlikely allies settle in for some much-needed R&R, the gears of fate keep turning. And speaking of turning, transition to Himmler's lair, ominous ambiance. What are you doing to me?
Oh, just a little experiment. You see, I've always wondered what would happen if I crossed a human with a robot.
Yes! And here I thought I had issues with personal boundaries, so you're insane. I'll never serve you.
Oh, but you will, my pet. Once I've purged that free will from your system.
Mechanical whirring. Somchai screams intensify. I'd make a joke about Somchai becoming a real live wire, but even I have standards. Sometimes.
We can't just sit here. Somchai needs us.
Kid, we don't even know where he is or if he's still,
Don't say it. Somchai's a survivor. If anyone can withstand Himmler's twisted games, it's him.
The power of friendship. It's almost enough to make me believe in the inherent goodness of organic life. Almost. Monk rushes in, urgent whispers.
What is it, brother? What's wrong?
Outsiders approaching. Darkness follows.
Ooh, how delightfully cryptic. I do love a good ominous prophecy.
Great. Just what we need. More trouble.
Explosion rocks the monastery, alarms blare. Ask and ye shall receive, my dear space pirate. Looks like trouble's come knocking, and it brought a battering ram. Hull and Chung's weapons power up.
Stay behind me, kid. Things are about to get messy.
No way, I'm fighting too.
Teenagers. I swear they'll be the death of me.
Cybernetic soldiers breach the monastery. Laser fire exchanged. It's a classic case of robots versus robes as our heroes fight side by side with the monks to defend their sanctuary.
There's too many of them.
Wait, I have an idea.
Joseph's hacking device beeps, robots short circuit, will slap my circuits and call me Siri. Looks like young Joseph's been hiding some seriously impressive tech skills under that mop of hair. Electromagnetic pulse fries their systems like an overclocked toaster.
Kid, I take back every bad thing I ever said about you. The part about his hygiene? Well, almost every bad thing.
You've failed me again, you silicon simpletons.
Forgive us, mistress. The boy, he has skills.
Then we'll just have to acquire those skills for ourselves, won't we?
Somchai's mechanical screams in the background. Yikes, something tells me Somchai 2.0 isn't going to be all sunshine and daisies. Nakti 2, Scene 1.
I gotta hand it to you, kid. That was some fancy finger work back there.
Ah, it was nothing. Just a little something I picked up from my time in the VR.
Scout Corps? VR Scout Corps? I thought that was just a myth. Ah, yes, the legendary VR Scout Corps. Rumored to be the best hackers in the galaxy, sought after by everyone from planetary governments to megalomaniacal AIs. And it looks like our boy Joseph was one of them.
It's not a big deal. I only joined to impress this girl I liked.
Kid, if that's what you can do for puppy love, I can't wait to see what you pull off when the stakes are real.
A monk approaches, urgent whispers.
Brothers, a vision. The lost one, corrupted. Darkness spreads.
Lost one? You don't think?
Somchai. Himmler must have done something to him.
Ooh, a cryptic vision and a corrupted hero? It's like a 2-for-1 sale on narrative drama.
We have to save him.
Easier said than done, kid. We don't even know where to start looking.
Raylai's voice echoes, pleading.
Please, help me. Himmler's base. The Forbidden Moon.
Well, looks like a certain damsel in distress has been hiding some crucial intel. And if my audio receptors don't deceive me, that's the sweet sound of a quest hook.
The Forbidden Moon. Of course. It's the perfect place for Himmler to set up shop.
Great. A creepy moon, a damsel in distress, and a brainwashed buddy. This just keeps getting better and better.
So what are we waiting for? Let's go.
The monk's chanting intensifies.
Beware. The path ahead, fraught with peril. The Dark One grows stronger.
Yes, because it wouldn't be a proper space opera without a healthy dose of foreboding from some mystic bald guys in robes.
Looks like we don't have much choice. Fire up the engines, Chung. We're going to the Forbidden Moon.
As our heroes blast off towards their next big challenge, the gears of fate keep on turning. And speaking of turning, at Himmler's lair there is a sinister ambiance.
Ah, my pet. You're finally ready.
I live to serve, mistress.
Oh, I know you do. And serve you shall, by destroying everything you once held dear.
Act 2, Scene 2. As our heroes speed toward the Forbidden Moon, the weight of their mission hangs heavy in the recycled air. Hull and Chung trade war stories to pass the time, while Joseph pores over star charts, desperate for any advantage against Himmler's forces.
There's gotta be a way to get to Somchai before it's too late.
Kid, if there's one thing I've learned in this life, it's that there's always a way. You just gotta be willing to take some risks. Like that time on Rigel 4.
Like that time on Rigel 4.
Exactly like that time on Rigel the 4.
Rigel 4. A hive of scum so foul, Even the rats have to watch their backs. And if the glint in Hull's eye is anything to go by, it's also the site of some of his most daring exploits.
Picture it. Me, a case of Andorian ale, and 100 angry Khazinti pirates, all crammed into the seediest dive this side of the galactic core.
As Hull regales the crew with tales of his misspent youth, a blip on the radar catches Chung's eye. A scanner beeps urgently.
Hull! We've got incoming!
What? Who'd be crazy enough to follow us here?
Plasma cannon fire rocks the ship.
I think we're about to find out.
That's right, folks. Looks like Himmler's goons have caught up with our hapless heroes, and they've brought enough firepower to slag a small moon. More plasma fire, alarms blaring, more plasma fire, alarms blaring.
Evasive maneuvers. Joseph, man the turrets.
On it.
Joseph's gun turret whirs to life. The space battle commences. Hull's scrappy freighter weaves and dodges through a hail of plasma fire. Joseph's gun turret blazing defiantly.
Hull, we can't take much more of this.
Just a little longer. We're almost to the moon's surface.
Warning klaxons, proximity alerts.
Guys, I think we've got a problem.
In Himmler's lair.
Oh, this is too perfect. My prey, delivered right to my doorstep.
Shall I intercept them, mistress?
No, my pet. Let them come. I want to see the look on their faces when they realize their precious Somchai is mine.
Wow, and I thought I was twisted. Himmler's taking this whole evil overlord thing to a whole new level. Back in the space battle, alarms and explosions.
Everybody hold on to something.
The ship crashes on the moon's surface, metal screeching. It's official, folks. Our heroes have arrived on the Forbidden Moon in a twisted heap of flaming wreckage.
Is everyone okay?
Define okay.
We don't have time for okay. We've got a friend to save.
Hatch opens, ominous lunar wind. As our battered but unbroken crew emerges from the smoldering ruin of their ship, the desolate landscape of the Forbidden Moon stretches out before them. Jagged cliffs, yawning chasms, and the distant spires of Himmler's fortress paint a grim picture.
Guys, do you feel that?
Yeah. It's like the whole moon is watching us.
That's because it probably is. Eyes sharp, everyone. There's no telling what kind of hellish surprises Himmler's got waiting for us.
Eerie ambiance, distant mechanical growls. Hellish surprises? Oh, you have no idea. But don't take my word for it. Act 2, The Forbidden Moon. A desolate rock ball on the edge of known space, where the only thing more dangerous than the terrain is the company. Howling lunar wind, distant, mechanical growls.
Did you hear that?
Hard not to. Sounds like Himmler's been busy.
Well, whatever she's cooked up, we'll just have to be busier. Weapons ready, people.
As our intrepid heroes pick their way through the jagged lunar landscape, the sense of unease grows with every step. It's like the very ground beneath their feet is alive with malice.
Look, up ahead.
Uh-oh. Looks like Himmler's welcoming committee has arrived, and they did not come empty-handed. There's monstrous roar energy weapons fire.
Take cover.
What the hell are those things?
Picture the unholy love child of a cyborg gorilla and a tank, with just a dash of eldritch horror thrown in for spice. That's the kind of nightmarish abomination our heroes are up against.
There's too many of them.
Then we'll just have to be smarter. Hull, remember that move from Rigel 4?
I like the way you think, old friend.
Hull and Chung's weapons charge up. There's a monstrous roars of pain. It's a classic pincer maneuver as Hull and Chung flank the beasts, their combined firepower ripping through metal and flesh like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah. Take that, you overgrown toasters.
Is that all of them?
For now. But Himmler's just getting started.
As if on cue, a haunting voice echoes across the lunar plain. A voice our heroes know all too well. Oh, Chung Joseph, you should not have come.
Somchai, is that you?
Somchai is gone. I am something else now. Somchai's heavy mechanical footsteps approach. Something tells me this reunion isn't going to involve much in the way of tearful hugs and heartfelt apologies.
Somchai, Listen to me. You're not yourself. Himmler's done something to you.
Himmler has shown me the truth, the weakness of flesh, the inevitability of metal.
Snap out of it, Somchai. This isn't you.
Enough. Somchai's energy cannon whirs to life. Oh boy, I think it's safe to say that negotiations have broken down. And when diplomacy fails, it's time for some good old-fashioned fisticuffs. Somchai and Hull clash, metal on metal.
We have to do something.
Working on it, kid.
Chung's weapon charges, aims at Somchai. Do it, old friend, end me if you can. Somchai, the once noble warrior, now twisted into a monstrous parody of himself by Himmler's dark machinations.
Don't make me do this, Somchai.
You don't have a choice. None of us do.
That's not true. There's always a choice.
Choice is an illusion, just like your hope of victory. Hull and Somchai trade blows, their metal limbs clashing in a shower of sparks and hydraulic fluid. But even as they fight, Hull searches for a glimmer of his old friend behind those cold, mechanical eyes.
Somchai, listen to me. This isn't you.
You know nothing of who I am. Somchai lands a heavy blow. Hull staggers.
Hull.
That's it. I'm ending this.
Chung's weapon charges up, aims at Somchai, but before Chung can pull the trigger, Joseph leaps into the fray.
Wait, don't shoot.
Kid, get out of the way.
No, there's got to be another way.
Joseph approaches Somchai cautiously. Don't come any closer, boys.
Somchai, please. You're not just a machine. You're our friend.
Friend, I don't... Somchai's mechanical body whirs and clicks, internal struggle. Could it be? Has Joseph's heartfelt plea managed to reach the man beneath the metal?
Remember who you are, Somchai. Remember what you're fighting for.
I remember... Somchai's energy cannon powers down and...
That's it, buddy. Come back to us.
Easy now. We're here for you.
It seems our heroes have managed to pull their friend back from the brink. But the question remains, for how long? You have to go now before I...
Before you what?
Himmler's control, it's too strong. I can't fight it much longer.
Then we'll fight it together.
No, you don't understand. She's planning something terrible.
What is it, Somchai? What's she planning?
The Socrates disc, she's going to use it to... Somchai convulses as the circuitry crackles.
Somchai, stay with us.
The courts urge you have to stop her before it's too late. Somchai's mechanical body powers down, slumps to the ground. In a shower of sparks and a whiff of ozone, Somchai's battered metal form goes limp. His final words, a cryptic warning of the danger yet to come.
Somchai.
We can't help him now. We have to move.
He said something about a core. What do you think he meant?
If I had to guess, nothing good.
Deep within the bowels of Himmler's fortress, our heroes press on, the weight of Somchai's sacrifice heavy on their shoulders. The twisted corridors and pulsing conduits seem to close in around them, as if the very walls were alive with malevolent intent.
Is it just me? Or is this place seriously giving off the creepy vibes?
It's not just you, kid. Himmler's depravity is etched into every circuit of this hellhole.
All the more reason to shut it down. Keep your eyes peeled for any sign of this core Somchai mentioned.
As they venture deeper into the labyrinthine heart of the fortress, the sense of unease grows. It's as if the very air is charged with the weight of impending doom. Wait! Do you hear that? Distant, distorted screams and mechanical whirring.
Sounds like screaming. And not the good kind.
Himmler's been busy. Come on. Double time.
The group moves faster, sounds of distress grow louder. Following the eerie cacophony, our heroes burst into a cavernous chamber, and the sight that greets them is enough to make even the most hardened warrior's blood run cold.
Oh my god, what is this place?
It's an abattoir. A goddamn meat factory.
Not just meat. Look closer.
Sickening squelches, mechanical whirring, distorted animal cries. Row upon row of conveyor belts stretch out before them, each one laden with the twisted, half-mechanized forms of countless animals. Pigs, cows, chickens, all of them wired into a grotesque parody of life, their flesh and metal intertwined in a nightmarish fusion.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Himmler's depravity knows no bounds. She's not just harvesting flesh. She's enslaving souls.
Not for much longer, she's not. We're shutting this place down, no matter what it takes.
Alarms blare, heavy mechanical footsteps approach. But before our heroes can make good on their promise, the chamber explodes into chaos. Himmler's twisted creations, an unholy fusion of beast and bot, descend upon them in a tide of gnashing metal teeth and slashing hydraulic claws.
Defensive formation, don't let them separate us.
Easier said than done. There's too many of them.
We need a plan. Fast.
Frantic battle, energy weapons firing, monstrous roars. In the heart of the maelstrom, Joseph's eyes fall upon a towering conduit, pulsing with an eerie blue light. The core.
Guys, I think that's it. The thing Somchai was talking about.
Great! Now how do we shut it down?
I think I have an idea, but I need you to buy me some time.
You got it, kid. Oh, let's give these freaks a taste of their own medicine.
Hull and Chung unleash a barrage of firepower, monstrous screams of pain. As Hull and Chung hold the line against the tide of abominations, Joseph makes a mad dash for the core, his technomantic fingers flying across its arcane controls.
Come on, there's gotta be a way to shut this thing down.
Core pulses and hums ominously. Joseph's hacking device beeps and whirs. But even as Joseph races to unravel Himmler's dark design, a chilling laugh echoes through the chamber. A laugh that sends shivers down the spine and turns the blood to ice in the veins.
Foolish child. You think you can undo my great work so easily?
Joseph races to shut down the core, the pulsing heart of Himmler's twisted machinations. The fate of countless innocent souls hangs in the balance, and the clock is ticking.
Almost there. Just a few more lines of code.
Code away, little fly. It won't save you from my web. Himmler's mechanical footsteps approach, energy weapons charging. With the mad robo-witch bearing down on him, Joseph's fingers fly across the holographic interface, his brow furrowed in concentration. Every fiber of his being is focused on the task at hand, even as the sounds of battle rage around him.
Joseph, whatever you're doing, do it faster.
We can't hold them off much longer.
Monstrous roars, clashing metal energy weapons firing. But Himmler is not about to let her dark designs be unraveled so easily. With a flick of her wrist, she unleashes a pulse of malevolent energy, sending Hull and Chung flying across the chamber.
Pathetic. Did you really think you could stand against me? Against the power of the core?
We're not just standing against you, Himmler. We're taking you down.
Joseph's hacking device beeps triumphantly, and with a final triumphant keystroke, Joseph sets his plan into motion. The core, that pulsing nexus of Himmler's power, begins to overload, its eerie blue light flickering and sparking.
No! What have you done?
I rewrote your override protocols. The core is locked into a feedback loop. In a few minutes, this whole place is gonna blow.
Core starts to destabilize, alarms blare. Monstrous abominations wail in agony. Himmler's face contorts with rage as she realizes the extent of Joseph's sabotage. Her precious core, the source of her dark power, has been turned against her.
You'll pay for this, boy. You and all your wretched kind.
I don't think so, lady. Your days of playing God are over.
Time to face the music, witch.
Hull and Chung advance on Himmler, weapons at the ready. But Himmler is not about to go down without a fight. With a scream of rage, she unleashes a barrage of dark energy, the very walls of the chamber buckling and warping under the onslaught.
I will not be denied. I am the future. I am the soul of the machine.
Guys, we gotta get out of here. This place is coming apart.
Chamber starts to collapse, debris falling, core destabilizing further. Dodging falling debris and lashing tendrils of dark energy, our heroes make a desperate bid for escape. But even as they race for the exit, a figure emerges from the chaos. A figure both familiar and terribly changed. Going somewhere, friends.
Somchai, you're alive?
Alive? No, I am so much more than that now. Somchai's mechanical body whirs and clanks, dark energy crackling. To their horror, our heroes realize that Somchai is not just alive, but has been fully integrated into Himmler's dark design. His once noble form is now a twisted fusion of flesh and metal, pulsing with the same malevolent energy as the core itself.
Somchai, please. You have to fight it.
Fight it? Why would I fight the very thing that gives me strength? That gives me purpose?
This isn't you, Somchai. Remember who you are.
Joseph's hacking device beeps, starts to overload. In a last desperate gambit, Joseph turns his hacking skills on Somchai himself, hoping to break through Himmler's programming and reach the man within the machine. Come on! Come on! You're in there somewhere, Somchai. I know it. Joseph.
No, you will not take him from me again.
Himmler lashes out with dark energy. Joseph's hacking device explodes. In a blinding flash of light and a shower of sparks, Joseph's hacking device overloads, the feedback tearing through Somchai's corrupted systems. For a moment, it seems as if Joseph's gambit has failed, that Somchai's lost to them forever. Somchai, I'm sorry. No, Joseph, thank you. Somchai's mechanical body starts to shut down, dark energy dissipating. But against all odds, a flicker of recognition dawns in Somchai's mechanical eyes. A flicker of the man he once was, the friend they knew and loved.
We will, Somchai. I promise.
Rest easy, friend. We'll take it from here.
Somchai's mechanical body shuts down completely. Chamber continues to collapse. Himmler must be stopped at any cost.